Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello, good evening. It's a beautiful Tuesday, and we thank God that He has supported us, provided for us, protected us through things and everything that we do. He promised to be with us, and yes, He's still with us. I'm sure you and I, we have the cause to say thank you, God, for everything that you do for us. Today's show is still Love at Home, and this is kindly sponsored by Angel of Hope. These Angels of Hope, you can be one. You can be an Angel of Hope by dialing *928*34*104# and follow the prompt. You can also send in your contribution and donations to 0249193083. We thank you so much, Angels of Hope, for always supporting Hope Channel in our programs. You are welcome to today's show on Love at Home. And for the whole of this month, we've been discussing what it means to be a single person. Last 2 weeks, we looked at what it means to be a single person. Last week, we also looked at the merits of being a single person. Today, we are looking at the challenges. Do they have challenges at all? I'm sure you are wondering, what are we going to talk about? Yes, we'll be right back after this break. Then I will introduce to you my guest for today. Remember to invite your friends. Join us on Facebook, on YouTube, and share your thoughts with us on 0559-680066. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. On Facebook.
Hope Channel is my favorite Christian channel. The best thing about this is that you can have it everywhere you go. All you need to do is to download the Hope Channel app on your Play Store or Apple Store and get all the programs you want to watch.
Jesus speaking says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come." In the name of Jesus, I welcome you to our special evangelistic campaign. We have dubbed it Kings and Kingdom. Powerful messages are coming your way. The main site is going to be in front of the Bethel SDA Church here in Osu, Accra. And then we'll have a satellite site in front of the Osumanches Palace, also in Accra. From the 19th to 29th, we start at 6 p.m. with health messages, with health screening, and then from 6:30 there will be prayer, there will be music. Exactly 7 p.m. we'll start the Word of God. We're going to be live here on Hope Television, we'll be live on YouTube, we'll be live on Facebook. God is about to speak to you. God is about to prepare you for His second coming. I look forward to meeting you. God richly bless you.
Hello, my lovely viewer. You are welcome back. And as I said, the program is Love at Home. On Love at Home, we seek to educate, inform, entertain, and share knowledge to help strengthen our families. Today's topic, we are looking at the challenges of being single. I am your host, Efia Sewa Mansa. Now, today's guest, I have a very beautiful young woman. Mama Joyce Konedu Aidan, good evening.
Good evening.
I love your smile.
Thank you.
How are you?
Too. I'm fine, by God's
So
grace.
who are you?
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to say good evening to our lovely viewers.
Okay.
My name is Joyce Kunedu Aidan. I'm a young entrepreneur, yes, and a devoted child of God.
Okay, I like that aspect, a devoted child of God. My special other guest is Mr. Obed Pabi. Mr. Gentleman, you look good.
Thank you.
And you said you are single.
Yes.
Wow. Anyway, how is your day?
By God's grace.
It's cool?
Yes, it was cool, wonderful,
Wow.
and resourceful.
Resourceful.
Yes.
Especially when you are able to get tasks done and you get
Exactly.
results.
Exactly.
You feel so satisfied.
Yeah.
You are welcome.
Thank you very
And
much.
to you, my lovely viewer, thank you so much for staying tuned. Please remember to call in your friends. We have just started the show. Remember to share your thoughts on 0559 680066. Now, let me start with you. Joyce, who is a single person?
Okay, thank you for the question.
Okay.
To me, I would say a single person is someone who is not legally bounded to anyone. So I'll use myself as an example. I may be dating someone, but since we are not legally bounded or by law, we are not married, I see myself as a single person because you have limitations. There are a lot of things you can't do. You are limited to what you can do. So I would say a single person is someone who is not legally bounded to anyone. So a person who is not married is a single person.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Aidan. Sorry,
Yeah,
Mr. Pabi.
Obed. Yes. I will also have a little bit different.
Okay, you have variation to that.
Exactly.
That's good. I love that.
Yes. Or maybe I'm coming from a different angle.
Okay.
And my angle is from the Garden of Eden.
Take us into the books.
So we know when God created Adam,
Yes.
God saw that Adam was lonely. He was alone. So he had to create a helpmate. And so the state Adam was before Eve came, I see it to be the state where somebody needs to be called a single person. Where one, you are lonely, you lack companion, there is nobody to talk to when it comes to problems and all that. Like the state Adam was. You know, at the time, Adam had no human being in the Garden of Eden. So if Adam wanted to speak to anybody, it is either God or the angels. You get my point?
Yeah.
So if you are a person who lacks this form of people around you to share your opinions with, somebody you can call a helpmate, you don't have those people around you, then you are a single person.
Oh, okay. Then looking at what you are just saying, then what it means is that if I have a friend, then I can comfortably go to and share my views, my thoughts, my sentiments with, then I'm not a single person.
Yes, but you should also have this in addition. You know, when God brought Eve, the description that was given to Eve. So yes, you can have somebody you talk to, but the intimacy, the how do I say it? The personal connection should also be there.
Okay.
You,
Right,
you
so
get
now
my
you're
point?
bringing another word, intimacy.
Yes.
But I like the aspect where Joyce talked about legally. So to you, what you mean is that once you are not legally binded by law, you are a single person.
Yes.
So you may have some friends that you may be dating, but you are still single.
You're a single person.
Okay.
That is why usually, let's go down to our church. When married couples, when there's a program which involves married couples, they say this is for married couples and not for the singles. Or there is games, for example, there is games between the married couples and the singles because we are not married. So we are all seen as singles. So until you are married and then you are binded together.
But the
person.
counselors have different definition to that. And this was shared here on Love at Home last week and last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Well, so going forward, we all learn from that.
Sure.
It's okay. Now, what are some of the specific challenges that confront you as a single person? Do you have challenges at all?
Oh yes, of course.
How come?
We should have challenges.
You are not answerable to anybody.
Yes.
Why must you have challenges?
We should have challenges.
How?
So, as we've shared our opinions on how or who a single person is, you realize that if you are single, there are some things that you are not able to do. But I want to start from the societal prejudice.
Okay.
So when you are single and you are in the society, people see you to be somebody who, one, maybe because of some attitude of yours, people don't get close to you. Or you are not married because you have some problems. Maybe it might not be so, but that is the perception of some of our people around us, especially when you are a woman. And they see you to be at a certain age where you are supposed to be married, and you are not. That prejudice they have around you, she is not of good character. He is not of good character. That's why people don't get close to him. That is why he is not married. These are some of the challenges we go to. It might not be true.
Yeah.
We might not be, all those things might not be true. It might be somebody's personal idea that I'm going to be single to this time. But because of those outside might not know those reasons and might have different interpretation of what you are going through. And that is one of the huge challenges single people like us go through. Yes.
Joyce, is that the case?
Yes, it's very true. So with the societal challenges, I would like to add up to what he said. Sometimes the society sees you to be responsible only when you are married. I remember a male friend of mine was once sharing his sentiments that he was confronted by an elderly person that he should get married so that everyone will know that he's responsible. And he was like, so does it mean that as I'm not married, I'm an irresponsible man or not? So most of the pressure comes from the society. And there is also the personal side of the challenges that we face. Sometimes, as he said in his definition of a single person who to talk to companionship, we always say 2 heads are better than 1. Sometimes you want to do something and you have your own opinions or you have your own ideas, but when you have someone that you have that form of intimacy with, when you have ideas coming from the person, you realize that you are able to do it in a better way than you doing it alone. I'm not saying that as a single person you are not able to do things better, but most of the time you are able to do it very well when you get different ideas from your partner or your companion.
To support. You want to add something?
Yes, so yes, with what he said, I want to add one. You know, one of the things that sometimes when you say you are single, people around you tend to look at you in a certain eye is because sometimes most single persons are not able to control their sexual edges.
Yeah.
And so if you say you are single but you are doing all those things married people do, then what is it about your singleness? And so this is one of the challenges we single people face, that being able to stand the pressures of sexual immorality. One of the huge problems. One of the very, especially when you are in this world where sex has become a norm and you want to be single.
It's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah.
You want to be single and you can't say you are single when you are doing all those things behind doors. You see. So one of the challenges are also about this.
I am very much interested in this area. I'll come back to that. Now, Joyce, you made mention of the fact that sometimes you have an idea and you wish you can get somebody to discuss this idea with. In that case, do they become disadvantageous or demerit as a single person to you? You think so?
Yes.
Or sometimes they are blessed in disguise, because sometimes they help you to take quick decisions. You don't need to ask somebody. If you want to go to Akosomwe, get up, you pick your bag, off you go. But if you are entangled, you may have to seek permission, and the person may say no. So what is what and which is which?
Okay, so with what you just said, you can go anywhere. So with the merit side, you have your freedom to do, you have the freedom to do anything that you want to do without being limited. But so far as we've been able to identify that two heads are better than one, and most of the time, if you do things on your own, if you don't get ideas from the other party, you may make a mistake or you may not be able to do it well. Then it becomes a demerit. As a single person, you can do a lot of things on your own. But sometimes it's even on the good side that you have a companion, that you go somewhere, the person calls to check up on you. When you are doing certain things, you are not able to realize that you are doing the wrong thing. But when you have someone watching your back, you are able to, your attention is being drawn to what you are doing well and what you are not doing well. So sometimes I will see that as a demerit. That's why we say two heads are better. That's why I keep saying two heads are better than one.
So for you, you are looking at it as a disadvantage.
Yes.
More of a merit to you. Is that what you see?
Yes, I can't agree less. You know.
Hey, really? I'm surprised.
Yes, I can't agree less.
Okay.
But of course, there are merits attributed to singleness. Yes, there are merits. But the ones we've just said are obviously the merits. When you want to, for example, you go to work and somebody annoys you, and you are coming home annoyed.
And there's no one to talk to.
And there's no one to. You enter your room and you are alone in the room. Sometimes you can't stay awake overnight. But at least when you have somebody in the house who is your companion, who is your wife, and you are sharing those things with, I just can't picture how that feeling will be.
It will be marvelous.
Very marvelous. And when it's a good marriage, and the person is trying to calm you down, you wake up the next morning refreshed for the journey. Yeah. But if you're alone, you come, sleep with anger, wake up the next morning, and if you don't take care, the first person who will come and greet you in the morning
will be the same person who annoyed you.
There will be no one to say stop crying.
Exactly.
All is well.
Exactly.
All is well.
Exactly. And this can never be merit. I mean, such situation can never be a merit of singleness.
So Joyce, you shared some of the challenge in the societal view. Which areas do you see some of these challenges again?
As for the challenges, it's everywhere. Sometimes from the church.
So share some with us.
Okay. So most of the time you have people approaching you, asking you to give them reasons why you've decided to stay single. For you have not decided to stay single. People will be giving you advice. Some people don't really know you well, but so far as you are single, they boldly tell you that you need to live a good life so that someone would come and marry you. It's like what my brother said. It means you are not living well. That is why you are not attracting people into your life. Yes. The challenges are a lot.
Continue.
I think another angle where the challenges can also come from is from the workplaces. You know, when there is there is work at work, and we need to stay overtime, maybe deep into the night, and we need one person. You are two. One is married, one is not married. Who is going to stay? They will say you, the person who is not married, because what are you going to do? And so they will give the work to you, and they see you as not having anything else to do. So all the work.
And you don't like that?
Yes. So when you are somebody who do not like that, but you know there are people who
are workaholics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for them, they want the work to come. Yeah. So that one, they will not feel any issue about that. But there are people who want, give me what I'm due. If I'm supposed to work 2 hours, give me those 2 hours. Such people, when you are giving them extra work because they are single, it becomes a burden. It's kind of a challenge to them as well. And so these are some of the things we can also experience from the workplace.
At workplace.
Yes.
Then the family setting. How do your family also, I mean, how do they help you in terms of this?
Yeah, so it's the same. When it comes to the family, it sometimes depends. When you have a family that understands you, that really do not want to push you to the wall, they want to allow you to do what you want to do, sometimes it's advantageous, and you don't see those pressures in the family too much. And when you are in a setting where maybe you are 5 in the family and 4 are gone, and you are the only one, and everybody's
the dial is cast.
Yes, sometimes you see, sometimes the father and the mother who you think are good, I mean, they are supporting you. They will get to a point they will be fed up. They'll be fed up, and they might want to say one or two things that will pull up the strings.
But Obed, why do you see this as a challenge? Why don't you see it as they think of you, they care? That is why they are asking you to do that. But you are looking at it in a different angle.
It sometimes depends on how.
Okay, so the manner and the approach that they will use to say,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly, because there are so many people who confront us on daily basis on our marital issues and all that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it depends on the approach and how you are treated.
Yes.
You get it? Two people might say the same thing, but the way one person will say it will be different from how the other person will say it. And so it's really on the approach and how they act against you.
But under what condition do you think somebody would prefer to stay as a single person? Under what conditions? Do you have people saying, me, I want to be a single person? Do you hear people saying that?
Yes, I do hear that. I have a couple of friends who have decided to stay single. And it depends on the situation in which the person finds him or herself. Now, there are a number of people who have been into one or two relationships, prepared, psyched themselves that this is ending them up in marriage, and it didn't turn out well. And now it looks like they are fed up, so they've decided to stay single. And they are it depends on priorities too. Some people see marriage as a priority or the ultimate goal in life. And some people also have different priorities. So the way I may prioritize marriage, it may be different. Someone's own may be education, someone's own may be health-wise. We even have people, because of the state of their health, they've decided to stay single. Some people, to the state of their spiritual levels, they decide to stay single.
Okay.
Yes.
The celibacy people.
Yes.
All right.
So it's an individual affair. It depends on the situation the person finds him or herself in, or the person's mentality, or priorities.
Wow. Wow.
I think some occupations might even influence somebody's reason to be single.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, like those going to priesthoodship.
Yes.
And which other areas? Which occupation?
I know friends, I don't know how legitimate they are, but friends who want to enter the military and they are female.
Okay, you can't enter military whilst
I don't know how true is it
true
though.
it is.
Yes,
Okay.
but that is the feeling. The friends I had, I was friends with them before entering into the military. Before they entered into the military, the idea is that let me enter first.
Okay.
When I enter, then I will come and then get married. So there are so many. Some people also, like the same situation, they want to have a nice wedding or something. I don't know how to put it, but a ceremony that will catch the faces of so many people. So they want to put things in order.
Place.
They will need to enter all the angles, corners they want to enter and be successful and make all the rounds so that their weddings will be huge. Some people.
But you do not agree with that.
No.
Why?
Because I think if these are the reasons why you want to stay single, then they are not tangible reasons enough.
Okay. Okay.
Because we've been told a number of times, even right here on this show, the type of marriage is how you should go. You shouldn't let it be burdensome and all that. So if at this time and age you want to attract influential people to your wedding, plenty people to your wedding, and that is the reason why you are staying single, to make all those connections before you marry, I think there is a problem.
So it means that from the onset, the mindset is wrong.
Exactly. So they have wrong mindset about marriage.
But don't you think those people, some people who entered into relationship and had issues with, probably had wrong mindset, and so it gives them the opportunity to come back and reorganize themselves? Why should they put them, I mean, why should they stop them from entering into another relationship? Why should that be? If you were going into a relationship, you had an issue, so you had to part away. Why should I let you say because I'm not entering into another relationship? Why? So
I mean, people really value their emotional status.
okay.
People really value it. It's difficult when you are being hurt.
Yeah.
It's very difficult when you are in that situation. Sometimes you can't even sleep. You can't eat.
You are giving me the gist. Give me more. Tell me more.
Like he's been there before.
So you see that?
Yes, you know.
Yeah.
I know what's saying.
So-
I know.
So just entering into that, and you just come back, and now you are single. You are moving on smoothly. Just few challenges, and you are going to enter into another one. If you've gone through that experience,
Of
obviously going to another one, you are very
Cautious.
skeptical
Yeah.
about what you are going to, and that can even force somebody not to even enter it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so emotional status. I mean, emotional.
The mental aspect of
Exactly. Exactly. I remember last a couple of months ago, I posted on my status that because of Broken Heart, I've been able to read a book in 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. A very big one, of course.
A very big book. And I was shocked at myself for being able to read that book. You see, sometimes when you enter that situation and you come out, don't blame them when they say they won't enter again.
Okay. The emotional, the psychological
Exactly.
issues
Exactly.
that you battle with
Exactly.
are normal.
So don't. But yes, it shouldn't get to the extent where it's because of that you prolong it to a certain extent. At least when you get to a point, you need to allow, but just that be cautious in entering another one.
Okay.
Yeah, be cautious.
Sometimes I see it. Sometimes I think it comes from the society that one was brought up in. You know that there are certain societies that people see it as normal to stay single, but to have children with whoever they want to. So the society also plays a role in that. I am not for that though, but it has really brought up those kind of people, such societies. When you go to certain families, you realize that even the man father did not marry the mother, but they gave birth to them and they are all living together. So as the child is growing up, he or she sees it as a normal thing to stay single but have children. Yes.
And that too is a big issue.
Yes,
Yeah.
a very big
Especially when you go to our rural areas
Yeah.
where these things are there. They see no reason, no problem with it. Can give birth to people, but they are single. Yeah.
So do you still call them single people?
Yes, they are single.
But by your definition, because they are not legally married.
Yes.
Yes.
That is what you said.
Yes.
But to me, they are not.
Yes.
Anyway, so how do we manage the state? How do you manage it, Joyce?
Okay, in my single state, for me, I believe in always having something to do, being productive. So usually I tell my friends that as a woman, you need to be productive enough. You need to be able to provide your own needs so that you will not see financial need as a reason to get married. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get married, but if you are productive enough and you are able to provide your own needs, you have genuine reasons to get married, and you have genuine reasons why you need to leave your single state and then find a companion. So most of the time I find myself doing things that make me more productive.
Like what?
Like always working on the growth of my business, partaking in spiritual activities like church. You go for rehearsals, you join singing group, you go for rehearsals, you go for programs, things that would always keep your mind busy so that you will not be in your corner where you think that you need extra 2 legs to join you so that you can feel the comfortable or something. Yes, so I find myself busy most of the time, and I also try to make friends so that as I make friends, I'll be able to learn various characters. So, for example, I meet Obed today, he becomes my friend, we talk, and then if I realize that he's the kind of man that I would like to be with in future, maybe our conversation may shift to the other side one time.
My
and
interest
then
is there,
things
so I'll
will
come there.
change.
Now, yes, Obed, what do you do to engage yourself?
Yeah, so a couple of what my sister has said. Plus, we should have a man of God calls him prayer partners.
Okay.
But you see, you shouldn't be in a sense of prayer partner in a sense, but somebody who you do not have that intimate relationship with, but you feel comfortable sharing your problems with. The person might be your family member or somebody, well, you don't have that intimate relationship, but you are comfortable telling your problems with the person.
Okay.
So that aspect of loneliness, lack of companionship when you are single, because when you come home and you need to talk to somebody, you can pick the phone and then speak to that person and then discuss what you want to discuss with the person. When somebody, they have done something to you and you don't like, you can tell the person. The person, of course, need to be somebody who can give good counsel, not anybody at all.
Yeah.
Somebody who can give good counsel. And so not anybody at all. You need to specifically select such people to guide you. And when you have any challenge, you just call on them, then they give you some advice.
Now let's come to sexual desires. You were a grown-up person. How do you manage these sexual desires that from time to time you may feel? Those butterflies, those feelings that you may get, or you don't get them?
Oh, we can never say we don't get them.
That's true. Give it to me.
That one, yeah, it can happen.
Okay, so how do you manage it?
Oh, so
Because not everybody will be able to manage it.
Yes.
yeah,
Some are doing so many things in the name of I can't manage. So if you are able to manage it, share with us.
of course, not in all circumstances. We are human beings, and one way or the other we might falter. But most of the times, I do not want to be indoors alone.
Okay.
So sometimes, even during the working days, those around me, you will find me around 8 in the office. Not because I don't want to go home, because I live alone. So you always see me doing something in there. And then when I go to church, those who know me at church, in terms of youth, I'm in Accra City. Sometimes I go to different conferences because of youth programs. Can go and spend the whole weekend with them, camp out and all that. And so, as you said, singing groups, joining singing. So you do things that does not make you sit idle, sit lonely in the house alone, to let those tendencies come into your mind. I don't know if you get my
Yes,
point.
I do.
So most of the times you should be able to engage yourself in these activities, not forgetting to pray. I mean, not forgetting the godly aspect as well. And then when these things combine, I'm sure God will help us to go through, and God is helping us go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to share something?
Yes. Most of the time we get the urge to involve in such activities, but I think that it all has to do with the mind.
Okay.
And most of the time we have the Bible that guides us. So if all the time you are with your Bible, you make sure that you read your Bible and you've made up your mind that you are living by it. Definitely when the urge comes and even the opportunity comes, the opportunity follows the urge, you have something that, a force that is controlling you.
Okay.
Yes. So your conscience would speak to you most of the time.
I'm sure somebody is sitting somewhere and the person is like, this lady doesn't know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
I'm sure that is what somebody is saying. How can you say I have a sexual desire and you're talking about Bible? But you have practiced it and it has worked for you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Same here.
Yes. But for me, yes, the Bible is there because we are grown up in the school of thought of the scripture. But for most of the times,
Keep yourself busy.
I keep myself busy.
Yes, and have quality
Exactly.
conversations. You have quality conversations because sometimes the kind of person you are with, let's say I've met Obed and we've entered our dating stage, the kind of conversations we have, the number of hours, how long we spend alone in a particular setting can even call for that. Sometimes the edge is not there, but the setting you put yourself in
Yeah.
Call for the
brings
edge.
or
The type
calls
of
for-
conversation.
Yes,
you
the
talk-
type of conversations you
Yeah.
talk about, where you go to the confined area, where you stay. Let's say you are together, Obed is my friend. During weekends, we usually stay together. Then I'll be walking around naked and all that. Sometimes his mind is not even there, but because of how
The
situation he
the
will
situation
find
he
himself.
finds himself in. So we need to be mindful of all those things.
Okay, so let me ask this. Does marriage or finding a life partner necessarily cure or provide solutions to these challenges to singleness? Does it? Do you think it does? No, you may not be able to answer this, but do you think it does?
A good marriage should be able to.
So you are qualifying it now.
Yes. You know, a good marriage should be able to minimize most of the challenges you are talking about. A good marriage should, at least, if it's a good marriage, you are free talking your mind. So the companion aspect will leave. The sexual immorality, fornication and all that. A good marriage, you won't go and then fornicate outside your marriage. Yes. So when you have a good marriage, at least it takes care of some of these challenges you are talking about.
Yeah, I think, as he said, a good marriage takes care of some. Most of the challenges, it has to do with you, the person.
Okay.
For example, there are certain people who have a particular character trait, like they are not able to blend well with other people. Naturally, some people always want to be on their own. So this person can find him or herself in a good marriage, but still is unable to share certain things due to certain past experiences. There are certain people who are naturally they are a bit selfish. Even their food, they cannot eat together with someone. Let alone eat with their partner. They always want to eat alone. And so some of these challenges, it prevents people from getting married, because they will be like, oh, the way I am, I can't sleep on one bed with one person. When I sleep with someone on a bed, I sweat a lot. I like big bed. I always want to be alone, so I don't think I can get married. Or because of my body, I cannot get married and give birth, so that I lose my body and all that. It is personal mentality that the individual needs to work on. And there are certain challenges too that when you get married, by God's grace, you get yourself in a good marriage, it helps you. Sometimes, me like this, I'm a very hardworking woman, and I'll be very glad that one day I want to scale up my business, and my husband, my future lovely husband, would support me do that.
Wow.
And will be giving me ideas. Oh, don't do it this way, do it this way, go to this country and do this and all that. I just can't wait for that moment.
Wow. My lovely viewer, the discussion is becoming more interesting, but let's go for a quick break. But let me remind you that you can share your thoughts and contributions to 0559-680066. We are discussing challenges of being single. We'll be right back.
Brenini o Brenini nyameba o Brenini ebredu se oye obofo a oma enidaso ai obofo a oma enidaso enche na ya genkwa no waba Hope Channel ma wakwanya amotumi akanyam semba bi biara wo ebi ana wutimi fasam ntrapo ebi ana wutimi kasa se de Paul yoye no ebi ana wutimi rafiefiem wo Brenini o se wo de usika ebeba beboa Hope Channel no waso ya sene yetumi diga me asem no akọ omantwi aso ne ni tworom nyana wadaroma fa homan na fa usika faso bi na onso fa bra ne enko kanyamsem enya akra ewu nkwa *928*34*104# anase 0249193083 Ubreni o se wunya kwanya na oye obofo a oma enidaso Hope Channel yes sabrabo Hope Channel ye ji akra no nkwa
AY
Salvation and service.
AY
Unveiling Christ.
AY
Christ our powerful choice.
Hello, lovely people of God. We are excited to be part of this program. We are here to represent the Seventh-day Adventist Ghana, and this is the National Bible V competition. We were given 5 specific books to choose from. We chose Jeremiah and Revelation. Jeremiah because it's an interesting book that talks about a rebellious nation and a loving God. How God consistently chases this stubborn nation just to win them back. He does this through his prophet Jeremiah. And Jeremiah eventually too doesn't get it easily, trying to get these people back to their God. And through all this, God still loves his children. Although he caused to punish them, he still loves them to bring them back. And this makes this book very interesting and tells us about how God's love is unlimited to us as human beings.
We all are very privileged that we are representing the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Ghana. And we hope that the prayers of our people and the whole church will help us and support us to be able to be victorious in this competition.
Only on Hope Channel Ghana.
My beautiful viewer, you are welcome. You are watching Love at Home and we are discussing challenges of being single. Now, I still have my guests with me and the topic has been very, very interesting. If you are just joining, please send in your contributions, 0559680066. Now, Joyce, we realize that some people are not able to enjoy the stage, their single stage. And so when they get into marriage, they behave funny in quotes. Things that you do not expect them to do. It's like, I didn't finish what I was doing, so I must continue. So how do you enjoy the stage? What are some of the things that you do? What activities do you do? What do you engage yourself in to enjoy this stage to the fullest? How?
Okay. Personally, I'm that very ambitious person. And I usually tell myself that this is the only time I have to achieve a lot of things that I want to achieve, so that one day I have time for my husband and my children. So if it's traveling, this is the time I'm taking my traveling serious. This is the time I'm taking the work of God serious, so that one day the family pressures will not restrict me. This is the time I make all the friends. In a single stage like this is the time to make friends and then learn different characters, so that at least at the end of the day you'll be able to settle on a character that has the majority
group. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you make a lot of friends, you attend. As for camp out, you know that we take the youth seriously. We attend camp outs when there's a program here. And I'm not really the program type, so mine is the more of adventure.
Okay.
So I have all my fun, travel around, and then make sure that anything I'm supposed to do for my business to go, I do it. Since I'm not married, I go for a lot of seminars, make the connections and all that, so that one day when my children come and I need a particular scholarship or school or something, a job for my child, I'll just place a call and then I'll not wait until I'm married and I'll be attending seminars and concerts that eats late into the night and
that
it will be eating into
family.
So this is the time I'm doing all those things, taking care of my body, going to gym up and down until I become that busy mother who will move to work, do family stuff up and down, and you'll not be able to. So I'm doing adventure, keeping fit, doing more of spiritual stuff, the church stuff, yes, making friends.
Wow, so you're enjoying it?
I'm really enjoying it. The Bible says you should enjoy the days of your youth.
Wow.
Yes.
I like the way you're supporting it with your Bible. That's good. You're so better. Tell me more.
I mean, she's taking the hell out of the seal. I mean, Kanina, but you see, when you are also single, make sure, especially those who want to further your education and all that, this is the time. If the chance is there, don't sit home. Use the opportunity to learn and learn and learn. So when you are a mother, you are married, you close from work, you are thinking about your children. Now there is no children to think about. Those you can use 2 hours of those thinking about children to learn something from YouTube. I learned how to do Coral Draw and designing. I never went to any school.
Wow.
I learned it online. At least I do what I can do. You get it? So let's not waste it. I mean, our period. Even though we've shared some challenges, there are more benefits we can drive. We can enjoy our state right now.
But you know something? I am so happy you are saying it here that there are more benefits you can derive.
Exactly.
So say it more.
Yes. So yes, aside the learning and then learning on social media, I mean on YouTube and all that, and furthering your education, you should also go for programs. I mean, some of us, it was difficult for us to go for programs because of our background and our environment. But at least when we realize that one advantage of being single is going out, making friends, we are making good use of it. And so yes, the choral programs are coming. Yes, find yourself in one of them. Every weekend, don't sit home. Find yourself in a program and then enjoy yourself. Don't regret. Marry and come and say that I wish I had done this when I. Don't regret.
Okay.
Take the opportunity and do all the stuff you want to do, but the stuff need to be godly.
Okay. Yeah. So what about the issue of saving for your future?
Yes.
Because some people have the view that, yes, I need to enjoy. So every little money they get, they are using it. I mean, they are spending it all over. What do you say to that?
Oh, of course, it's one of the things we should also learn as young people. Especially saving is very important. So sometimes you might want to think that you want to have enough. Maybe the job we are doing, the pay is not so big, so let me grow. That is the time wasting. That is part of your single period you are wasting. And so as you said, this is the time if we can save more. If the salary you want to, you can specific, because you don't have any, like many obligations. You're not taking care of your child, you're not taking care of your wife. It's you and probably your parents, and that one cry is not heavy. Make sure majority of the money you would have given to your children and your wife go into savings. So that when the time comes, you won't find yourself looking for money to go and then take care of all those things. It's very important.
Okay. Yes, Joyce, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'd like to adapt to what
Please do.
said. So as a single person, this is the best time to learn financial literacy. If you are not able to manage your finances now that you are single, then there is no way you'll be able to manage your finances when you have a family to take care of, because you wouldn't even know how to disburse whatever costs. So as a single person, you should learn to control and then manage your finances at this stage before you get married. And also, as a single person, you should be able to line up, you should have a vision. Then you break it into mission. So you know that at this time you are going to school, not strictly living by it, but you should know that around this time I should bag my master's, my first degree, my master's, if it's PhD you want to. Then around this time you should be settled. Not that compulsorily you should be settled at this age, but around that time, let's say in your 30s, you should be settled. And if you have the vision, it will guide you on how to go about your savings, because you know that you have a lot ahead of you. Yes.
So Joyce, let me ask you, are you searching?
Oh, for now, by God's grace, I've been able to make great friends, and then
You've moved on?
Yes, I've moved on. So I'm hoping to jump from the single stage to what God has asked us to do. Yes.
So then very soon.
So viewers should be praying for me.
That's great. That's great. What about you?
We are in a searching stage.
Okay.
So we are still looking. We are just praying. In the right time, God will provide. We know God will provide.
God will provide. But we need to work.
When we were talking about financial
literacy.
Yes. We are not saying that if you are in your youth, because you have to save, you are saying save, you will need to live like a pauper. Like live like somebody. You get what I'm saying? Somebody will say because you are saying save, he will save to the extent that the dressing will not be dress, but dressed well. I mean, don't spend much of your money in your
looking
physical.
Good. Yeah.
Exactly. Most of us.
This is the stage. The women.
Yes, this is the stage we want to look good, and so the little money we get, we put it into fashion, and we are dressing with it. We can be modest. We can use the ones we used. I mean, we can have our wardrobe not change frequently, and still be able to save and still look good. We should watch out for that one as well.
Okay, so what about the issue where Paul was trying to advocate that if you can stay single, do? What is your take on that?
Yes, you see, he says if you can. So you have to examine yourself. Me, I see this to be a personal one. If you examine yourself and you see that I can't, why do you force yourself to be single if you know you can't? Especially these challenges we've spoken about, the sexual one, societal one. Some of us we can't even stand it, and even because of the attempt of making people stop prejudicing, you might even act in a way that will even tarnish your image and all that. If you can't, cope with these challenges, why do you want to continue staying single? If you can't stay, you can't cope with them. You need to move on. You need to get somebody. But if there is nothing, there are no reasons. You don't have any challenge. There is no reason why, and you have somebody you've gotten, you can marry. You have all the resources. You are mentally sick. Matured and all that. I don't see why you should be waiting.
Well, maybe the person is waiting for Drete.
Yes, it's very important. But I'm saying that you have the money.
Yeah.
The money is there. You have somebody you trust, and the person trusts you, and the person is also there. You have a family that is backing you. You have people. All the things you need, you have it, but you still want to be single. That one, I don't understand. Maybe
the person's mind is still not settled. It's not ready. And if the person doesn't take care, he will enter and come back and still behave as if he's a single person. So it is emotionally, psychologically, your whole being must be ready for it.
Exactly. Yes. So I'm coming from the perspective that aspect is also ready.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you have your emotional, everything is
intact. It's intact.
But you decide that I won't get married. Okay. That's where I'm coming from. Right. But of course, as you said, it's a whole holistic something. You should be emotionally ready, physically ready, whatever ready.
Financially ready.
Financially ready. If you are not ready of these things, then you should.
So, Obed, before you say, I do to a particular woman, what would you want to see in that woman?
Oh, yes. So, as Christians, the godly, the church, the denomination.
What is the meaning of godly?
Somebody who takes activities of God and his Christian life serious. That is the person I see as godly. You take your Christian life serious, you take church activities serious. I see you as godly. And then we are in the same denomination. That one, it's there. And again, very important. I know myself. People who know me, I'm that kind of, should I say, workaholic, or you are everywhere, you are there. Those kind of people. And so when I need a woman to come and help me or come and be my helpmate, it won't be advisable to go for such a person, the same person. So I will need somebody who is a little bit calm, who, when I am high there, you can calm me down. You get it? And so yes, so these are some of the things I will look out for before I settle on something.
But when you are going out and you're having fun, you don't go for such people. Why?
$1 question.
When we are going out, we are in terms of
you want to go out, you want to have fun, to parties. You don't go for women that you want to be seen as married people to you. You want to go out with people who are all over like that. Why is the case?
It depends, because some of us, it has been our mindset, because we know ourselves. So wherever we are, in fact, when I enter a place or when I get myself into a society and you are somebody like that, we automatically click. We might not be going out, but you realize that in the lot of people in the room, you realize I become more friends with you than any other person, just because of how you are. You get it? And so it might be personal, but for me as an individual, all those I have been friends with or I'm friends with, except those who are guys, but the female ones, they are people who, they know me, unless those who maybe we are just casual friends.
So you mentioned the fact that the person should be godly, and then you looked at the attribute, the personality type and all that. What about development of that person? How do you want the person to carry herself in terms of development? How do you want to see such a person?
Oh yes, in terms of development, career development. Yes. So in this age and time, you want to get somebody who, career-wise, somebody who is determined, somebody who wants to fight to get one in addition to his one or her one. Not somebody who will always want to be in the house. At least somebody who will make the move to get something in addition to what is already there.
Adding on.
Somebody who's adding on. It might not be huge, like having a huge container or something. It's something little, but you should be able to be somebody who adds on. If you are giving 1, you can make it 2.
Okay.
If you are giving 2, you can make it 4.
Okay.
Yes, somebody like that. It's also appreciable.
Lovely women, I guess you are listening to them. Now, Joyce, before you say, I do, what do you want to see in that particular man?
Okay, growing up, my parents have always told me that when I'm going for a life partner, I should first look at the God factor. So I always look out for a God-fearing man. Now, when a man is God-fearing, he has everything good. Yes, someone who loves God and fears God, is caring, is kind, like they have everything good. So I'm looking for a God-fearing man. Now we have certain people that we classify as God-fearing, but they are not ambitious. They always are in that one place and don't want to develop themselves. So for me, aside a God-fearing person, I look forward to see an ambition in this God-fearing man. So that as an ambitious lady as I am, if you see me bringing home a lot of things, you will not be envious or you will not start limiting my abilities, how far I can go. So if a man is God-fearing, I know that he's going to be supportive. And if he's ambitious, we can achieve a lot of things together. A man may not have the financial strength today, but the ambition is one very expensive trait that a person can have. When someone is ambitious, you know that at least the person is ready for life. As soon as the opportunity comes, the person will grab it and then make something big out of it. So before I say I do, the man should be God-fearing and then should be ambitious.
Wow, this is so interesting. Now, let's take your last comment. How, in the midst of all this, you shared your challenges as a single person and all that. What do you want to share with people? What do you want people out there to know? For example, at any given time, somebody will be a single person. You move from that stage, then you get into the marriage stage. But we always come back chasing you with the same problem. Why do you think is the case? That we don't learn from, for example, when I was single, I guess I went through what you're talking about. Now I have moved on. But I guess one way or the other, I'm pushing somebody, I'm doing what somebody did to me and I didn't like. Why do you think it's always the case?
Yeah, I think it's our human instinct. So most of the times when we go through some activity or we go through some situations and we are out and somebody is there, we want to see the person also go through it to feel what we went through.
Oh, really?
Yes, I most of the times use the school example.
Okay.
This is when somebody is a junior, you go and you are being bullied. You go through the bullying and you also become a senior. When you become a senior, there is no way you will say, because I was bullied, I won't bully anybody. The same person will also bully somebody. And so that instinct of making people feel the vibe or what you went through at that stage is there. That instinct is there. You also have to go through and see what I, so that when you also become like who I am. So the only way you can become like who I am is when you've gone through what I've gone through. That instinct is there. But obviously it's not a good thing, especially when we are talking about this marriage. Some of the comments might be good. I mean, some of the comments might be encouraging. But sometimes the way some of our people say it tends to spoil the whole thing.
The whole show.
Yeah, so we are learning. If you've gone through it and you are out, you didn't like it when somebody was putting some notion on you when you were not
tagging you in a
tagging you
particular
in a certain
way
when you were not married. Today you are married. Don't tag somebody with that same tag. But you can even turn that to be a positive side, to encourage that person to also be like you.
Joyce, your last word.
I think that is a societal trait that we grow into. So as a single person, someone approaches you and it's like, and it broke you down.
Yeah.
And by God's grace, you've gotten married and you are also telling someone that it's not a good thing. Though there are two sides of it. Sometimes people have a nice way of saying it. I have one friend who told me that, Joyce, I was saying me and I'm a warrior and now who say is a media grache. Because the person has been confronted many times and now he has sat down and seen reasons why he needs to settle down. Because as he's single, there is nothing he's like, he has no reason. He himself, he has no genuine reason why he's single because of such confrontations. But it depends on how the person puts it. So to me, I will not get married one day and be lambasting people here and there because they are not married. Sometimes people have certain challenges that they are fighting. People have certain wars that they are fighting secretly that by God's grace, if they are able to overcome, they settle down. For all you know, someone has the money and everything, but the person is not really getting that character trait
that he's looking for. That one person he's looking for. And it's a problem to that person already.
All you can do is to pray for the person. Sometimes as an elderly person, you can give the person some good counsels that can even reshape the person's mentality, so that it will give the person's good reasons to settle down instead of staying single. Sometimes because of one single reason that someone needs a good counsel to change the person's mind. So I will not do that in future.
It has been a very, very interesting discussion. And I'm sure you heard what the singles said. They said sometimes we push them too much. I'm sure you can be that one person who can keep on encouraging them, for them to know and see why it is important for them to get into marriage. Please, let's give them good counsels as they prepare themselves. And to you singles out there, please, if you are single, be diligent in being single and respect that, and God will bless you in that regard. Same time, next week, we come to your airways. The program has been Love at Home, and thank you so much. Good night. Bye-bye.